Hello, coders. Hello. Hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. It is 7:07 GMT. Apologies for being a wee bit late today. I've just come back from a dog walk. Walk-in Murphy, who is now under my desk, falling asleep, which is super, super cute. So today we're not going to do any of the PHP design patterns course, because what I would like to do is I would like to spend a bit of time working through the House Code Well site, building the courses page. That's ideally what I want to do today. I'm going to be playing with a bit of Tailwind. We're going to be playing with obviously Gatsby. Now, I haven't done any of the APIs for the course section yet. So I'm going to be making this up as I go. We're not going to be working on the APIs today. What I want to do is just build the page, just build the layout of the page. So let's go into... let me just double check a couple of things first before I... go into that. Bear with me just a second. Ever organized. Okay, let me go to the code window. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just run a git pull, because I don't think I've got the right stuff. Bear with me just a second. Pull. Hey Kiwi, why are you making a scripting language in JavaScript? JavaScript is a scripting language. Okay, yes, I did have a bunch of stuff. Thank you very much, Kiwi, for the 10 bits. Thank you very much. Nice shiny bits they are. Good old Kiwi. So, why not? Why not? Well, why not? I did know a fella once who built his own operating system. I never saw it. He just said he had done it. And that was the answer. When we asked why, he said, why not? Fair enough. You know, I subscribe to the whole sort of, if it's already been built, then why build it? Don't reinvent the wheel. But it's the best way to learn, man. If you wanna learn all the ins and outs. So respect. Okay, so I've just pulled down that. So I'm going to do a Gatsby develop again. As you can see, I've done a bunch of work on this already. Can you see all those commits here? Yeah, why not? Just throw it in assembly. Okay, so that's been built. So I'm going to go over to here. This is the page. Hey, can you see? It's all shiny. So let's just do a refresh. So we've got a login page. We've got a forgotten password page. And we go back to login. And we've also got a register page. Now, none of these are wired up. None of these are wired up yet. I still need to build the APIs. I've been reading a lot about API gateways and the best way to work, build those, whether it's going to be like some off-the-shelf API gateway or whether it's going to be like something that I build myself. I'm not too sure yet. There's still a lot that I've got to do. There's going to be a bunch of microservices behind all of these things. So there needs to be some form of gateway, some form of front door. I've also, I believe, if I go back to login, I've done, if I get this right, is that it? Yes. So I've hard coded a username and password just for me to test and try these things out. So we've got the profile page. There's a horrible gap here. I'm going to say something that I'm going to say all the time whenever I do these things, and that is I am not a web designer. Not at all. So I will be, once all the functionality is in play, I think I'm going to give it to a web designer and just say, can you help me build this better? I think one of the problems that web designers have, one of the many problems, or challenges, I shouldn't say problems, challenges they face, is when a client doesn't know what they want. I'm the opposite. I kind of know what I want, and I'm going to throw it on the page, and then it's up to their experience and talent to then fiddle about with it and make it look better. So once I have all the pages done, then I want to give it to a designer to give it a lick of paint. So anyway, we've got this dashboard thing. This is going to be where they log in and they can see their courses that they've previously ran, all that other good stuff. So this is the dashboard. There's also a profile page as well, where you can change your profile. Now, to meeting the MVP, the minimum viable product, I just want a first name, last name, and email address. But there's going to be so much more in the future, such as your Twitter handles, integration into things like GitHub, and other really interesting stuff, right? So, but for now, just meeting the MVP, this is what I need. The courses page will list all of the courses that the user has previously seen and what they're currently working through. Security is going to be changing the security, and again, this meets the MVP because it's just changing the password. But eventually, I would like 2FA. I would like all sorts of other bits and pieces around security as well, and integrating your account into other things, as I mentioned, Twitter and GitHub and other bits and pieces. And then there's a logout. So if I click logout, that should take me to the login. Now this is actually working against that username and password that I put in, which was hard coded. So if I go to account, this is my little test. If I go to account, that's the dashboard. If I click that, we should go straight back to the login because I haven't logged in yet. Right. So that's sorted. Awesome. But we're not going to be dealing with that today. We're going to be dealing with the courses page. We're going to be dealing with /courses, which doesn't exist yet. So that's what we're going to be building today. Groovy. So, what I'm going to do is just clear down some bits and pieces, tidy up the workspace. So we've got, these are the pages. So in account, we're going to create another directory in here, because what I would like to do, if I go to the, probably going to have to bring it up in Safari actually. Bear with me a minute. If I show you the Jira board for this, drag it up. Okay. So I want to be working on these two today, or at least that's what I want to be focusing my attention on this week at least. So, okay, create a page to show that should be all courses, I think, if I can drag that this way a little bit. Hello, Tyrannid. Good morning to you. And then this one is to show the particular course, because if you think of it, you've got like an overview course catalog, if you will, of all the courses, and then you've got the individual course themselves when you click on it. So to show all courses, that's one we're going to focus on today, I think. We've got all these subtasks. So create an API endpoint to getting the latest course. I'll be dealing with that off stream. The listing page should include a course, some thumbnail, course duration, and should show the course title. Yeah, cool. So that's the MVP for that. And then this one here is the actual course page. Should show, obviously, the API endpoint. Page should include the course title, duration, should list the tutorials in the course. So I'm thinking of perhaps having something on the right-hand side, which lists all the tutorials and the one you're currently on, with maybe a previous and next. Each tutorial should show the thumbnail, its title, and its duration. And as you can see, I've been labeling these with MVP, UI, and API So this one here, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to do the API endpoint because I still need to think about how I'm going to do that. So we're just going to hard code this today. I just want to get this thrown on the page to make it look relatively like a courses page. So we're going to create like a card per course, and let's just create this as a task, I think. So create card per course. Yeah, cool. So that's what we need to do. So we need to have like an array of courses, and then loop through that array. Essentially, that will be the API response. Loop over that array, and then that array will have objects for each course with the title, duration, thumbnail, all of that good stuff. And then from that, build a series of cards. So we're going to create a new page in here called courses. Now, maybe I should call it course rather than courses. I'm still unsure as to the folder structure, or the domain, whether it should be pluralized or not. So we're going to create a new file in here, which is index.js. And we will also create a new file in here called no, we'll just focus on index.js. And what I'll do is I'll take the I'll take the index, grab the index, bung it in there, and we'll just have just to get something thrown on the page, course page, right? So if I was to go into, not there, in here, Chrome, element is valid. Oh, great. Is this because this needs to be course? Export course. Get rid of all of this stuff. All of these components need to be changed, don't they? Oh, hang on. What am I doing? That's the wrong side. Now, I'm not going to worry about meta or anything like that at this stage of the game. There's no. I'll be dealing with the old SEO side of things as a sort of a separate phase. I think I'm not really good at SEO at all. There we go, courses page. Okay, so what I'm thinking of having is like a series of courses, which will be an array of a JSON structure. So it'll be, and then in here we'll have like the bits and pieces that we need per course. If I go over to the here, we need listing to include the thumbnail, the duration, and the title. So let's do title. Thumbnail. And duration. And then the idea is that I will be looping through this, generating a bunch of components. And those components will go here, and then styled using Tailwind to create some sort of cards. Okay, so what I've done is on here we've got some. If I go to videos, Here we go. That's what I want. So we'll use some of these as an example, right? So we've got the Docker tutorials, we've got Python beginner course, Linux command line for beginners, PHP tutorials, and some Symfony, some HTML, MySQL, blah 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 blah. There's a whole bunch more. So I want at least, I think, 4, well no, maybe 6. But this is just for example purposes. I want to select that. No, okay, all right. I'm gonna have to write this out. So the course is Docker container. Docker container. Boom. Thumbnail, I'll work that out in a minute. Duration, I'm going to make this up. Let's just make it up. The first one is 23:48, then it's 9:51, then 9:59, 8:14, 6:29, and there's a bunch more. I'm going to probably say that this covers what? An hour? Ish, something like that. So I'm going to do 60:00, just for argument's sake. Now the thumbnails, see, this is a challenge because I haven't got like a thumbnail per course. I've got a thumbnail per tutorial, which is frustrating. But what we could do is just use the first thumbnail for now. Now what I would do for that is I would right click on here. This is going to play, so bear with me a minute whilst I stop that. Grab the URL here, which is in the share section. Copy. Now there is a nifty little tool that I've got that I found, which gets because it's all on a CDN on YouTube, so you can pull it off of the CDN. So YouTube, let's just find it. YouTube. Is that it? No, that's not it. Bear with me a minute whilst I have a look around. I did have one where it was. There we go. Yeah. So, like here, for instance, that is the thumbnail. And what you do is you put in the ID of the video here, and then you have the option to change the different display sizes. We'll just use max res for now. But that is the URL to get that thumbnail. So we're going to put that into there, like so. And then what we'll do is we'll do another one. Oh, see, as I'm going, I'm thinking of things that we need to add to this, right? So listing should include the course thumbnail. Listing should include course duration. It should also include a number of tutorials within the course, right? Show count of tutorials. So let's put in count. Now it doesn't have to be. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect on the first run, not at all, because eventually the API will be getting all of these things, right? So if we close that down from Mo, if I was to open that up this is going to play. Bear with me a minute. No, it's not. Cool. So we got 6, 7, 9, 11. So I'm not going to include these two, 11, and I'm not going to include that one. So it's 10. 10 for that one. Great. Okay, the next one is if we follow down the path. So not the live streams, the Python beginners course. I'm going to call it Python for beginners. So there's going to be a little bit of room for maneuver in terms of naming of things. Okay, so how many courses do I have in here? How many tutorials do I have here? We've got 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. And let's see if we can get the thumbnail of that one. So I'm going to just quickly pause it. Please, pause. Pause. There we go. Share. Grab that. I'm hoping that if I can go to here and just paste that in. Is that mine? Yes. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna 60 minutes probably isn't right, to be honest. 6, 6, 9, 7, 16. I don't know. I'm not gonna add all that up. Let's do 45 minutes. It probably is more, but whatever. All right, next one. Now this, I mean, like I said, this would be coming back from an API response that I'm yet to build. I just want to get things on the page. Next one. Close that one down. Close that one down. Okay, we'll do the Linux one. Linux command line tutorials for beginners. Okay, now how many of those have I got? 6, 7, 9, 10, 13, 15. 15 of them. 15. And again, we'll get the first one. We'll close that. Stop. Grab that. It's actually this, isn't it, that I need? Can I just take that, please? There we go. And then hopefully that should be, if I change that there. Bingo. Okay. Doing it very carefully because I don't want to show someone else's thumbnail. Okay, so we got 15 of these things, and I'm guessing that they're what, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long, something like that. 17 minutes long. I don't know. Let's do an hour and 5. I'm probably really not. Let's do I don't know, 65 minutes, something like that. I'm making it up. Okay, that's 3. We'll I think that's good for now, right? I think otherwise I'll just keep. We'll do the first. No, we'll plow on. We'll plow on. I want more because I'm thinking of like how many rows they're going to be per. Or sorry, how many of these per row? I'm thinking three abreast. I'm thinking three on each row. And my cat has just come in. Okay, what's after this one then? What's after Linux? I'm pretty sure I've done more. PHP tutorials, that's not really in a course, mind. There is the object-oriented stuff. We'll do the PHP 2.8 service tutorials. Wow, that's an old course. PHP... oh, we'll do the object-oriented one. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. PHP OOP beginners. Now, this is going to be tricky because that's all of the PHP tutorial. I've gone and foolishly put them all together. So, well, we can work this through. So that's object or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Let's say 6. Like I said, this doesn't have to be completely and utterly perfect now, because the API I'll be pushing all this to an API and then tinkering with that in a CMS that I'm yet to build. So okay, so 6, they're about I don't know, 15 minutes average. Again, let's just do 65, whatever. And then, so I'm going to grab the first one. Stop. Okay, share. And I'm going to put that in there. Let's just make sure that that is the right one before I do that. So let's just grab, let's just grab all that. And put that in there. Boom. Okay, whatever, it's the 6th one. But whatever. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go for another 2. With this, we're going to use... We'll still keep on the line of PHP, I think, because there's some more in here that I can split up. So we've got control structures. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So PHP control structures. And there was 5 of those. I'll drop that down to 35 minutes just for some sort of variety. And then I'll grab this one here. Stop. Please, stop. There we go. I don't want to get copyright striked or whatever might happen. I don't know. Grab that, go into... Take that. Is that... Or does that have the F there? Ah! Take the F off. Nope. It's broken. Ends with 8. 5, 8. Oh, like that, is it? There we go. Cool. Next one. Come out of that, come out of that. Come out of... Well, let's go back on. Come out of that one. Right. We will do the Symfony tutorial, HTML, just for variety. We'll do a HTML one. HTML tutorials for front-end web developers. That's a bit long-winded, isn't it? Let's do MySQL consoles. This is the very first ever course I ever built. MySQL console. And I think this has... this has 16 videos. I can see them there, 16 videos. Let me just make sure that they are all what they say they are. Yep, they are. And we'll do the first one here as an example of... Shush. Be quiet. Be quiet. There we go. And then grab that. Go into here. No, that's not going to work, is it? That's not gonna work. All right. That sucks. Let's just grab that. Sometimes I think my keyboard just trolls me. Thank you. Right. There's 16 tutorials on this one, and they are, what, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 minutes long? I don't know. Let's do... Making it up. Let's do, blah, 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 28 minutes. It's definitely not that, but whatever. Okay, so now got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. That's cool. So now what I'm going to do is loop through all of these things. Let me just make sure the page is still functioning. Let's get rid of that and that for now. And we want that one. Let's get rid of that one and that one. Refresh. It is. Sweet. So I want to create a component for each one of these things, basically. That's what I want to do. And the component, I'm guessing, is going to have a div. Well, I'll tell you what. What we could do is just take a look at the blog, couldn't we? Which is in templates blog, because it's going to be a little bit like that, you know, the structure. So you have your flex wrap, and then you have your postcards, and then you got the pagination. We're not going to worry about pagination in this sense for now. We will do later. In fact, let me add that to as a task. It should go in here, shouldn't it? This one here. Create. Add pagination. Okay, so let's grab that. Go into index here. Paste this in like so. So this is going to be web development courses. Okay. So now what we do is we loop over the courses here, and we push the course to a component. So we're going to do a component called course, and we're going to pass in the node. We'll give these an ID. Really, they should be the ID of. Well, no, we'll make one up. Let's do 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have just done the index. Never mind. 6, daft. Okay, so we got the ID, and we're gonna grab the actual node itself. So we're gonna do let's do item. We're not using pagination. Okay, so we need to create a course component, essentially. If we go over to the, it was postcard, components, common postcard. This is the one from Ghost. So I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna put in, instead of common, I'm going to create a new folder here called course. We're going to keep it all nice together. And I'm going to do a new file. I'm going to call this card, I think. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along. So let's call this actually course card rather than card, just to be a little bit more namey. No, don't do that. All right, let's get rid of stuff that we don't need. We don't need this. We don't need we need to change this to be course card, of course. What comes in here is the course itself, or the item. Whoops. Okay. We don't have a URL yet, so it is a link, but URL. I guess we need a URL, don't we? Really? Let's put in a URL for each one of these. Let's just do homepage for now. Yeah, I'll copy that in as such. Essentially, what I want to get to the point of is I just want to have the front end working, and then all I do is just switch to an API, and then boom, you know, once I've decided upon the response. That's the plan anyway. So components, course card. That's good. Doesn't have the required attribute of post. It does have the course though. Hang on a minute. What's this for? Yes, post. Am I calling it? I'm calling it course. Let's call this post just for argument's sake. Okay, so this would be post.url. All good things. This is going to be the header for that. Now this is going to be the image. So this will be, instead of featured image, this is going to be I can't remember what I've done now. Thumbnail. Hold on. Yeah, it's the prop types. Let's get rid of that. Or do I need that? I mean, let me think. Prop type post, prop type shape is required, is string. Okay. I thought I should be able to just pass this through as a post is equal to node, and then that passes in the post, which means that I should be able to. URL is missing from props. Is it because there we go. So this would be thumbnail. We definitely have the XML tag has an empty body. Well, I guess it does. Deal with it. It's not going to be featured. I have ideas for featured things. It'll definitely have a title. We're passing that through, right? Yep. And that's in here. We won't have an... see... Not for the MVP. It's not going to have the excerpt. So that can go. Primary author profiles won't have that either. And the author name won't have that. In fact, it just won't have that. But it will have, however, a footer, because it will have other bits and pieces like number of tutorials per course, duration, that kind of thing. So we won't have featured. We're not going to have tags yet. We may have later. We're not going to have the primary author. So URL, title, and thumbnail. Title, thumbnail, URL. Something like that. Okay, cool. So what we're doing here is looping through, and we're running the course card. Can I see what this looks like? Cannot read property of ID of undefined. Oh dear. I think that deserves some tea. Argument of type function is not assignable to parameter type duration string. Why is it gone quiet? Okay, so there's a problem with the cannot read property ID of undefined. So it's saying that the node is undefined, even though we're mapping it. What happens though if we... Can we do a... So this is where my knowledge of this gets a bit flaky. Gone are the days where you just do a for each and then and you loop over it. Loop over I and pull it out. Course.map node. Bear with me a second. Yeah, we're in the return. And what did that do? Did that do anything? No. Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't. Let's go back to the blog a minute, as I'm using this as reference. So we do const data ghost edges to get all the posts, and then we map through each one. Fine. Error, but the above error occurred in course component in the course. Okay, let's let's knock that away. Now that is very confusing. It's supposed to be commented out. Why are you... What? Thank you. Right. Okay, so here's all the courses. Courses dot for each. Well, come on, Magic Mouse. Let's do courses.map function let's do course and index. All right. And then let's do return. Let's just do, just to get this to look half decent, or as just a test, return li with the key, which equals the index. And then course dot title, I think I called it. Yeah. Here we go. So we got the container, we got the Python, we got, okay, good. All those things are good. Okay. I thought I was going mad. Like, sometimes it's best to just bring it back to the basics. And if you're playing around with components and you haven't tested those components yet, it's always good to just bring it back to, okay, let's just see if we can pull something out. So the problem before was the fact that we couldn't get the ID. So does that mean it could have meant that I missed an ID off of one of these things? So let's just try that again. So we did, instead of index, we're doing course.id. I think that should be okay. Yeah. Okay, good. But we will, for this, we will use the index. Okay, so now what we're going to do is move over to the, we'll try and move to the course card. So that's my control test, I suppose. So here we're going to do course card, and we're going to, it's a post, well, it should really be item to be honest, but whatever. And then this is going to be course. Okay, so this is the, okay, so it's a problem now within the course card, I think. Oops, that's silly of me, shouldn't have done that. Ooh, look at that, it is coming through. That's cool. All right, something's happening. Yuck. Yuck. My tea is going to have to get changed. I can't stand cold tea. Okay. So what we need to do now, get rid of that, is start playing around with the design a wee bit. I think I'm going to grab some tea and then I'll come back and work through that. So just bear with me whilst I pop downstairs, grab some tea. See you in a bit. I'm back. Has anybody watched Star Trek Picard on Amazon Prime? I started watching it this week. Watched the second episode last night. Oh my word, is it good? So good. It's just like, I don't know. Patrick Stewart is just an amazing actor. But it's just so much, in my opinion, much better than Discovery. Because Discovery, in my opinion, went a little bit weird. You know, the Star Trek Discovery on Netflix just went a little bit sort of weird when they started talking about spore drives and jumping from place to place, and it just got a little bit strange, so whereas Picard, it's a little bit more dare I say, use the word realistic in a Star Trek conversation. It's a little bit more, I guess. There's a bit more, you can relate to it a little bit more, I think, rather than there's some random bugs that will make your ship suddenly disappear from one place to the other. That's a little bit strange. Is that The Expanse on Netflix? I've watched the first 3 seasons, I think. Yeah, The Expanse, and that's really good. Something that I tried to get into, which I just couldn't. I just couldn't. It was Altered Carbon. I might try it again. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to the next couple of episodes of Picard, because I think that is. Thing is, in my opinion, Amazon Prime episodes they can become a little hit and miss sometimes. It's not like Netflix originals, where Netflix originals are usually pretty good. So I was a bit blown away by it. The first episode was incredible. I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want to put any spoilers out, but it had everything I wanted. So yeah, go and check it out, I think. And what else did I see? I saw oh gosh. I've gone and forgotten. We saw a film over the weekend, and it had I'm rubbish with names and actors. It was about 2 gangsters. It was that good, I can't remember it. But no, it was pretty good. Gosh, the guy who plays Bale in The Dark Knight. Is it Dark Knight? Bane, not Bale. Bane. He plays a twin. His twin. So he's got 2 characters playing 2 gangsters who work together. He did Venom. I can't remember his name. That's really bad. He was the actor of Venom. I'm gonna have to look it up. And he's been in Peaky Blinders. Tom Hardy. Gosh, dear. Wow, Tom Hardy. Of course it is. Yeah. So this film we watched with Tom Hardy, and he was playing both, the brothers, the twins. So it was really, it was shot really well, because you obviously had scenes and fight scenes where they were fighting each other in it, and it was seamless. Gonna try and find the name of that film. Legend. There we go. Legend. So we watched Legend over the weekend, and that was really good. The previous week we watched the another gangster film, but that was very, very long. Yeah, some really good stuff out at the moment. Really digging it. Okay, let's tidy this up. We don't need those. Yeah, Legend is good. I think Tom Hardy is just a fantastic actor. Really, he can apply himself to so many different types of roles. Some both good and bad. You know, like good. You know, as in a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. So like Venom, for instance, he was both a bad character, like a, you know, and a good character. Oh, something else we've been watching is Russian Doll on Netflix. Now that is a brain screw up. That really does. You have to concentrate on that. And that's good. That's got the one of the actresses from Orange is the New Black. I forget the name, but that's good. Yeah, it blew me away. It was like a guessing game as to what happens next, you know, and why this has happened, and it's just so, it was written so well. So if you haven't watched Russian Doll, do check it out. But I think you need to give it, like, you need to dedicate some time to watching it. It's not one of those films that you can just have your laptop on your lap and work through, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know what you mean. Too many subscriptions, man. I know exactly what you mean. And I think this is why I'm not going to go for the Disney thing, even though there's going to be some awesome Marvel films on there. It's just another one, right? It's just another one to add to the pot. And, you know, I know they're not that expensive, but when you add them all together, yeah. And the frustrating thing with all of this stuff is that sometimes they'll have the things that you want on, and sometimes they do. And, you know, they don't have them on constantly. It's like for example, with Now TV, they did all the stuff with The Walking Dead. So as soon as the new season of Walking Dead came out, the old seasons went, and it was like, oh, great. Now I have to wait. You know, I either have to cram to watch all that in, and I don't have time to do any of that stuff, or I'll just have to miss out. Well, I don't applaud that, to be honest, VTCN, because as a content creator myself, I mean, I know I'm not that, you know, I shouldn't be comparing myself to these, you know, films and stuff. I get very frustrated when I see my courses being put on BitTorrent, and it's happened. So yeah, I used to do a bit of that when I was in university and college, but I don't play that game anymore. Like, I've seen my courses on BitTorrent, and it's just, it's very, very difficult to, it's frustrating. I was raging. I was so raging. I had a nice comment one day from someone who said that they couldn't afford one of my courses. It was one of my packed courses. I don't have control over how much packed charge for my courses, right? Which is very frustrating. So I had this email from a student saying, "Look, I don't have the funds to get your course," and I was just like, "Okay, fine, cool. Is there anything you can do?" So I got in touch with my publishers, and I just said, "Look, can I have one for free?" You know, and I managed to do that and send the link to this this person, the student. I much prefer that sort of way, because then you have that customer interaction rather than it just being put on BitTorrent and then used and abused. It takes me literally like years to produce these things. As you all know, you've seen the design patterns course. I'm still building it. So to see your work being just put on the black market is very frustrating. So I have a little bit more respect than I did when I was at college. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people do that. They it goes through like plural sites and other bits and pieces where they become like the gateway, and you can subscribe to that through your company, but that's good. I know, but that's where the line blurs, right? That's where the line gets blurry. And I, from my own point of view, I can't have one rule for me and another rule for someone else. If someone's produced some piece of content that is good, then, you know. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. So, PHP control structures. That's good. Okay, so that's looping through. So that's course card now, and the course card does this stuff. So if we go to, where are we? Tools, View, Developer, DevTools. I'm going to bring this over to where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Go on. There is a button somewhere to put it onto the bottom. Here we go, at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to get rid of this stuff. We don't need that. Elements. So, that's the element there. It's still in the UL. Let's get rid of that. First of all, I didn't realize it was still in the UL. Lol. Whoops. Hang on. What's happened there? I've got, there we go, that's better. I've got Murphy by my feet, and I've got Flick, my cat, by the door. They're both sort of doing a stare off. Cool. So this is looking a wee bit better. So this is the lineup, I guess. Now I would like to have the other bits and pieces. So I would like to have, say, for example, the duration, and I would also like to have the number of the count of tutorials per course in these things. So first question, do I like to have the thumbnail above the title? Is that good or not? I don't think so. Let's adjust it. So we have the link, we have the header that goes into there, then we go into the H2. Let's put the H2 above. Okay, I think that might be a wee bit better. And then maybe have... Actually, no, I don't like that. You'll see a lot of this going forward and back. Okay, so now we're going to have the duration. Now I'm thinking of maybe doing this as... that is a very good idea, VTCN. Let me put that down as the... So that's not going to be on an MVP, but that's a very good idea. Let me see if I can find my task list again. Let's do... Not that one. That one. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, I will put that down as a non-MVP task. So I will... By the way, someone sent me a tweet the other day, yesterday in fact, wanting our RSS feed for the blog, so I put that down there too, okay? So, create order for an MVP is minimum viable product. So the first iteration that gets out, that you can, the first set of features that you can say will be your thing, right? Without going over the top. As a freelancer, when I go into clients and stuff and I ask what do they want, usually it's everything under the sun, and then and so you have to rein it back in, right? So you have to rein it. What is the first release? What can you get away with in the first iteration? And then what can you put to the next iteration? So for example, for me, the order of the courses is not a higher priority than getting the courses on the page, if that makes sense. So create order for courses. Create order for courses create order for courses. Create optimal order. Learning order. Cool. And I will assign it to myself, and we won't put the MVP on, but I'm going to put in UI, and that will also take some API work as well. Okay, cool. But that's a really good idea. Eventually, I would love to get this to work through, like when someone logs in, I would love it to know what courses that person has already seen and recommend courses as well. So let's say, for example, you may have done the control structures course, so we're going to recommend the PHP OOP course because it knows that you've done a PHP thing, right? So, less so the Linux course. Now I've only got 6 here, but there's many, many, many more. I just need something on the page to play with. So we're going to add the duration and the count. So I think I'm going to do that in the footer. So I think what we can do is we can do like a strong, well, maybe not. Maybe we can do like, let's just get some stuff on the page. Post, and it was, is it, I've forgotten what I've called it now. On index, it was count. You're right, Murphy, you're walking all around. Tutorials. Okay, well, let's put in code. You all right? Count in here. Okay, so 10 tutorials, 9 tutorials, 15. Okay, and then on the right-hand side, I might have a duration, and I'm thinking maybe we do... Yeah, I like that. Like, like beginner to intermediate to advanced, that kind of thing. I like that. Like, a follow-on type thing. And wouldn't it be awesome after when you've completed the course that it prompts you to, take the next level? That would be good, wouldn't it? So let's do duration. I can't spell duration. There we go. Obviously take away the tutorials. What am I doing? Nuts. Now, wouldn't that be nice if that was in a sort of a... almost like a little label type badge type thing. We're using Tailwind. So I'm going to take a look at styling this up. Let's put this in a div. And let's do class name. Let's do BG gray 500. Why didn't that work? Why did that not work? There we go. Let's do P2 or 1, 2. Awesome. Let's now put in some rounded bits. So let's do rounded. And can we do a little bit more rounded? Rounded LG full. No, that's okay. Let's take away let's do P1. That's better. Let's see if we can tone this down a little bit. Let's do, I mean, I know I said I haven't done any. That's cool. Let's do text center as well. Can we get that on there? Groovy. No, this is Tailwind. This is Tailwind. Tailwind CSS, not Bootstrap. A Tailwind is a great utility. I'll show you. Let me just grab the URL. Tailwind CSS. It's a utility first CSS framework. It's really, really good. I'm using all of my stuff now in Tailwind. And you can configure it. Yeah, very, very powerful. Okay. So let's see if we can. Yeah, it does. Really good for prototyping. Okay, so I don't like. I want this to be in sort of like a BG white type thing, I think, and maybe give so we got padding of 4. So okay, no, that's not what I wanted. But what I maybe I need to do, so that margin B is margin bottom 4. If I did just M4, that would hopefully bring that down. But then of course we've broken the you know, get my words out, Pete. Come on. I've broken the grid. There we go. So I think what I need to do is put in a probably a div here. With BG white. There we go. And then on this, give this a P2. Boom. Okay, groovy. I don't like the look of it. This is why I need a web designer. Yeah, I don't know. It just looks a bit weird.
One day you'll figure this out.
But wait, hey.
You will change the world.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks old. Like, it looks like something from 2000s. Like 2006. Yeah. Ah, you're a web designer. Please get in touch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it. I don't know. I mean, it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it. I don't know. 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 we've got the number of tutorials, we've got the title, we've got the duration time. Murphy, are you okay, mate? Yeah. Wherever the cats go, he wants to just be there. So the cat has just moved from the door, so he's sniffing around. Okay. I can see me falling down this rabbit hole of design and trying to make it look better, and then I need to accept the fact that I'm not a designer. So if I can give this to a designer to design, as far as I'm concerned, this is pulling out all the things off of that list. So I think if I go up to, why is this small? Create a page to show all courses. What have we done here? We have not done the API because I need to do that. Listing page should include the course. Well, that's done, isn't it? So that can be done to done. Listing should show course duration. Again, that's done. Create a card per course. Again, done. Show a count of tutorials. Done. Now, I haven't done pagination because I think pagination is going to require the API. Could someone recreate your site with your courses? So I would prefer not to. I would prefer that needs to be done as well. I would because I think the APIs aren't going to be public. Yeah. Okay, so can I bring that up there? Add pagination and create the API endpoint. So we need an API endpoint. I need to build the APIs for that to happen. Oh, if they want to, yeah. I'm actually, I'm once I have all of the functionality done, once I have like things done, and I've got pages which show relatively what I want things to, the features and stuff of the MVP, of course. Then I'm thinking of hiring a designer for how to code well, and actually getting things done properly. So I'll get hopefully the idea is to get like a series of designs that that How to Code Well will use in all of the How to Code Well platforms. Well, I say all of. Well, for instance, we've got the code of conduct pages. We've got the coding challenges site. We've got all sorts of bits and pieces. They're all using the React components up here. So we've got the menu and we've got the footer. We've also got a UI library for Tailwind and other bits and pieces. So if I was to go to this is the code challenge site. Sorry, this is the code challenge site. Notice that the header here and the footer is the same. These are React components from in NPM. If anybody's interested, of course, that is the code challenge for February. All about encoding and decoding strings. So the idea is that a designer would come along and look at the platform of How to Code Well and create a style guide for me to then use. Yeah. And there may be scope in there for designing a new logo or what have you, but that's not for the MVP at all. Yeah. But obviously I need to get these things built in order to then give it to a designer to say, this is what I've done. Please make it look better. Obviously some conversations I've had in my freelance career, there's like, you know, the client doesn't know yet what they want. They just want a website. I'm kind of the opposite. I know what I want, you know, in the sense of I have this list of tasks that I need to build. So I'm hoping that when I get to a point of giving it to a designer, I'm giving like a site that is usable. That's the plan. Anyway, so if anybody knows any designers, I mean, I can't do it now because I've still got to build these things out. But if anybody does know one or wants, you know, fancies getting involved, then do let me know. Okay. I mean, look at this. The alignment is terrible. Crazy, isn't it? What? And it needs to be mobile responsive. That isn't. That's terrible. Anyway, whatever. So, 71% done. I need to build these things, and then on the next show, I think what I'll do is I'll start working on this. So, the idea is when you click on the the idea is when you click on one of these, it will take you to a page of the course, and then it would list down, like with sort of, where's the Docker one? So we'll have a list of tutorials on this side. So if I go back to here, so on this side here, we'll have a list of tutorials, and on the right hand side, we'll have the actual script, the actual current tutorial playing. And then below it, I want to have, if the course has things like links to code, I want those in there. If they have transcripts, I want that in there. So, yeah, and as I mentioned, there's going to be like different tiers of things as well. So if yeah, I'll get into that later. I think I still got to work through in my head what that all means. So I've been planning to do this for so long. And the current howtocodewell.net site, which is this one, it's so old, and it doesn't have any APIs behind it. No worries, VTCN. That's no problem. And there's a bunch of adverts which I don't want. But essentially, what I want to try and achieve is a little bit like this. So, for example, we start this course here, and we have the big the video here, and then we have the list of tutorials in there, right? Now, obviously, this looks terrible. So I want it to look a lot better. Also, I want to have it full width as well, and I want to have durations of things. So I want to sort of tidy this up. Now, this is hard coded. This is actually created via JSON files. This is running Symfony, and it's just looping through the JSON files. And then displaying the relevant one, right? Whereas what I would like to have is on here, I would like people to, be able to log in and actually have it. Sorry. Vatican. Okay, sorry. I'll remember that. Vatican. I'll try to anyway. So the idea is that people will be able to sign in. It will record if they're signed in, if they're subscribed. It will have the My Challenges bit. If I go to, let's do a login again. Okay, so in the My Courses section here, I want to have the courses that they've already been on, and then maybe some recommended courses as well. So I want it a little bit more sort of user-centered as well. Yeah, I agree. Now, so yes, the first thing I've just been in the chat. The first thing a designer will do is remove the text on the images. Yes. Yeah. And if that's the case, then so be it. If they advise me to do that, then so be it. I'm more than happy to do that. Like I said, I've taken the thumbnails from the very first tutorial. It's not really a thumbnail of the course, so I'm more than aware that I'm going to have to spend some time making thumbnails for each of these courses themselves. So yeah, I totally agree. What do you mean by IAM? Have you seen Key Cloak? What does that mean, Vatican? Yeah, it could be like a Docker icon here, and then a Python icon there, and a penguin there, and Oh, okay. What am I using for that? I haven't decided yet. Oh, thank you very much for saying so. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. Yeah. I think what I need to do, realistically, and this is, I really appreciate this conversation. I think what I really need to do is be very realistic with myself. I think I need to build all the functionality, get all the pages running, and then take like maybe a month of just going through it with a designer and just sort of like saying, your logo needs to be changed, your thumbnails need to be updated, your SEO is terrible, and really sort of spending the final month before it goes to production just trying to rinse out as much as we could possibly do to make it actually look less like an 80s website. I've never heard of Keycloak. I'll look that up. It's open source, and you can integrate it into your app. So users can use external services like Google, GitHub to auth your app, so you don't have to design the auth process yourself. That's good, because I do want to have social signups. I want people to sign in with. Eventually, this perhaps isn't the MVP, but I would have liked people to do it through GitHub or because some of the not all of them, but some of these do have GitHub projects behind them. Some of these courses, we've only got 6 here, but there's many more. So what I would like to have is like fork this project, that kind of link. So if there was that sort of, if it already knew that you were in a GitHub, it would have that sort of level of integration maybe. I don't know. We're talking way above and beyond the MVP here, but it would be good. Key lock is maintained by Red Hat. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I will take a look. I will take a look. Right, it's 8:42. I'm going to have to make a move because I do have a lot of work on today for freelance in the freelance world. I'm working on. Well, I can't obviously say what I'm working on, but I'll let you know on the tech side. So I'm working on Vue. So this is Gatsby, right? I'm working on Vue. I'm working on Vue.js today and some PHP bits and pieces. I am in Europe, UK. Yes, I'm in the United Kingdom. So I start the streams at 7 in the morning after I've taken Murphy, my English Springer Spaniel, off for a walk, and then I do like an hour and a bit, and then on Sundays we have a longer stream which is starts at 14:30 GMT. That usually goes on to about probably 6 o'clock, and what I've been doing recently is splitting up these streams between working on this project, and also there is a course that I'm building which is a PHP design patterns course, and I'm developing it live. So I'm actually building the code for the course live, and then once that's done, once all the code is there, I'll then do the recording, and I'm hoping that once this site is built, that will be the first sort of course to well, obviously I'll have all of these courses on it, but these are courses I've done previously, but the PHP design patterns course I'm hoping will be the first sort of I don't want to use the word premium course, but be the first new course on the site, so to speak. So the next stream will be Thursday at 7 a.m. GMT, and then it will be Sunday. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you ever so much for all of your great suggestions and ideas. If you've got any more, then please hook me up on Twitter or on the Discord. Join the Discord channel, and do let me know. I'm PFWD in there. So take care. Happy coding, everyone. I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye bye.